Hi friends, welcome to our tutorial on print options. So we are moving further in our course of Excel 2016. We are at the end of this course. So in this specific tutorials, we are going to see about the print options, then print, preview, some shortcuts. So this is what we have planned for the remaining part of the tutorials. Coming to this specific tutorial, what we are going to see is the print option. Now we have seen lot of different things with respect to improving the presentation or the formatting of this table. So we are going to see how our virtual copy of this specific worksheet will look if we are wanting to print it. Okay, so we are going to do some realignment and stuff going on in this specific sheet, that is sheet 1, and we are going to see how it is going to look before we take a printout. So for print, what we are going to do is we are going to go to file and I'm going to click on print. The moment I select this, you can see all the print options, all the different types of options are now visible. And this is how our page looks like. We currently have two pages. If I click on this, you can see page 2 is what we see over here. Now, I do not want my printout to be looking like this. I want to do some formatting. Okay, so now we are going to see what are the different things that we can change over here so that we can take a proper printout. Now, when you decide to print something, the first thing that will come into your mind is how many copies do you require. Okay, so if I want to take a photocopy of something, some notes I want to photocopy. So when I go to a shop, I'll tell him exactly how many photocopies do I require. I require 2 copies, 3 copies, 5 copies, 10 copies. So here also when we are using the print option, you have to tell the printer that you want specific numbers of copies. Like for example, currently we just want 1 copy, but for example, if you want 5 copies, you can increase the number. You want 2 copies, you can decrease the number, or if you want 15 copies, you can manually input the number as well. So here you give the number of copies that you want to print. So let's keep it 1 only. Next is the printer status. Now this will tell you whether you are offline or online and which printer you want, whether the printer is ready or not. So printer status, currently I have not connected to any printer, that is why it's showing offline. So if you are ready, it will show a ready status so that you can start with the printing of your notes or of your worksheet. So printer status, check properly if it's ready or not. Now next thing that we see is print active sheets. Okay, so for us there are 2 sheets, but if I want to print only the first sheet, what I'll do is I'll input 1 over here. So start from page 1 and print till page 1 only. Okay, so if I only want the first pages print out, so I'll write 1 to 1. If I want both the pages, I'll write 1 to 2. If I have 15 pages, currently we have 2 pages, but let's assume that I have 15 pages and I want to photocopy just the first 10 pages, I'll write 1 to 10. Or if I want to photocopy from page 5 to 10, I'll write 5 to 10. Okay, so you're getting my point. Whatever you want to print, just write down the page number. So we want both the pages, so I'll write 1 to 2. Quite easy. This is a particularly new option wherein it will ask you whether you want to print one side, print on both the sides. So this particular option is present now. The only thing that is different over here is flip pages on long edge and flip pages on the short edge. That is the only difference. Okay, so we will keep it print one-sided. Next thing that we are going to see is collated. So let's assume that we have 10 pages and we want 10 copies, or let's say we want 10 copies and we have 2 pages. Now what is the meaning of collated? Once I click on this, first option is collated. So what it will do is it will print page 1 and 2 first. That is a one set. Then again it will print page 1 and 2 for the second set. For the third set again it will print page 1 and 2. Okay. And if I click on uncollated, what it will do is it will print page 1 only, and that too 10 copies. So 1 1 1 1 1 page till 10 copies are done, it will print page 1. Then it will move on to printing the page 2. Again it will print 10 copies of page 2 and then it will move on to the page 3. Okay, so in collated what happens is whatever are your pages, all the pages will be printed and they will become one set, and then it will start to print again the same set again till all the 10 copies are done. In uncollated, only page 1 will be printed 10 times. Then once it is done, it will move on to the next page. So similarly, it will just try to print according to whatever command you have given. Next thing that we have is orientation. Currently I have given the landscape orientation, but let's see what happens if I click on portrait. So this is how my page is looking like. I'll just skip on landscape orientation. You can choose it according to what you want. Now according to the paper of your print paper, the paper that you have for printing, you can give this command. I am currently using the A4 size paper, but if you have a different size paper, you can select it from here. Next, coming to margins. Now what are margins? Can you see this blank space which is present over here? This is the margin which is left by the printer according to this command. A normal margin which is present is 0.7 and 0.7. So this space is left, 0.7 space is left, so that the print will look properly. If you want a wide margin, just see what happens when I click on this. This width increases. If you want a narrow margin, you can see again this width decreases. Also, you can custom the margins. You can change this number from here. You can change it whatever you want to increase or decrease. Again, top margin also you can increase or decrease. So this is with respect to margins. We also have something with respect to header and footer, but let's come to this afterwards. So I'm going to keep the normal margin. This I'm going to keep collated. Just checking if I have all the required things. Copies is 1. Then what we have is fit all columns on one page. So let's see what happens is fit sheet on one page. So can you see everything comes on page 1. Now the number of pages is also decreased. Initially we had 2 pages, but now since we have given a command of fitting everything on one page, all the graphs and charts are also on page 1. So only page 1 is present. So let's discuss something more about the print page setup and print preview in the next tutorial. So in our earlier tutorial we had seen something about the print option. Let us continue the same in this tutorial. But before doing that, what I'll do is I'll just go to the file option and go on print, and for this last option I'll choose fit all columns on one page. Okay, so that we have 2 pages present. Now why I have done this is because I want to show something with respect to the page layout and stuff. So that is why we want 2 pages, and I have done the changes. Okay, so first thing, in some of the earlier tutorial we had seen that this is our normal view. Okay, so we can see the same when we click on view option, and we can see we are on the normal page view. So if we click on page break preview, this is what we see. So the entire blue thing which is under this box is going to be on page 1. It is going to be printed on page 1, and this other thing is going to be printed on the second page. You can see page 2. Third thing is page layout, wherein you can give the headers as well. I'll just delete this. We can include this afterwards. You can add the headers, you can add the footers. We have included footer as well. I'll just delete this. Okay, so this was the first page, and now if we go to page 2, this is our second page, okay, with the header and footer. Now what I'll do is I'll go to view tab, I'll go to page break preview and show you something. Now whatever we see on page 1, we can increase the same. Like, can you see this blue line? Once you bring your mouse over here, this double-sided arrow will be visible. So you can just drag it wherever you want to include it, and if I just keep it over here, you can see now how my print preview will look. So let's just go and see what happens. Now how many pages are visible? I think there are now 3 pages. So let's see how it is looking now. So can you see there are 3 pages? This is page 1. How is it looking? Not good. Page 2 is completely of no use, and this is page 3. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go to, yeah, we are there only. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just include everything on page 1, and from graphs and charts I'll bring it on page 2, and let's see how is it looking right now. Just click on file, go to print option. So this is my page 1 and this is my page 2. Okay, so this is looking good. Okay, now what we are going to see is some additional things like including the headers and footers. So all that now we are going to see. For that, what I'll do is I'll click on page layout. Okay, once I click on page layout, I'll click on print titles. Okay, now print area. Print area, if I go to the normal view, okay, I'll just click on the normal view. Okay, and again I'll go on page layout and click on print area. So print area is what you can see, it is now currently selected. Now what happens is we have currently two pages which are going to be printed, and I want specific things to be present on both the pages, like this name, XYZ company list of employees. So that is why I have included this. I'll show you how to include this. If you have nothing over here, just click on this, and what you will do is you will select these two rows. Okay, I have selected these two rows. Click on this again. So this is selected. Columns to repeat, we do not want columns to repeat. Okay, so for this I'm fine. Let's go to header and footer. Now header is wherein at the top of your sheet something will be displayed. What all things you can include is page numbers or something like this confidential or page layout that you can include, or if you want to write anything customized, so you can customize your header. It can be included at the left side, extreme left, at the center, or extreme right. So let's keep it at center. What I'll write is confidential only for internal use. Okay, so this information is only for internal use is what I have included. I'll click on OK. For footer, maybe I want to display the page numbers. I'll just click or select this page 1 and I'll click on OK. So let's see how it is looking right now. Okay, so can you see confidential only for internal use, that is displayed? We have page 1 over here. This XYZ company list of employees is but obviously displayed, but let's see if it is displayed on page 2 as well. Oh yes, it is displayed. So our print options are working properly. We have done everything correct with all the headers and footers as well. So this is what we see with respect to print, and then you just give the print command, Control P, and everything will be printed for you. So this is how the print option works.